Okay, now I will briefly explain the role being played by each group member in this role play titled Ethics Under Pressure. First of all, the project manager, which is the boss in this team. This character is being played by Siti RASYIQAH binti SHARIZAN, and she plays the role of the project manager ethically and professionally. So for me, her character is responsible for managing the discussion and listening to different opinions given by the group members or team members and guiding the team toward an ethical decision. Besides that, she also emphasizes integrity, transparency, and teamwork, especially when the team is under pressure to meet all of the deadlines. The next person is myself, which is ADIBAH MAISARAH binti AZMAN. In this roleplay, I play the role of the marketing executive who is highly focused only on the meeting deadline and satisfying client expectations, like how I want to satisfy the client expectation. But however, her character in this role play represents that she is one of the employee who is work under pressure and initially prioritize the speed over accuracy, meaning that in this role play she does not care about anything else other than submit the work on time of the deadline. And this role highlights how the performance pressure can influence ethical decision making and how reflections can lead to more responsible action. Furthermore, the role of the quality assurance officer is being played by IMAN AIFA, and in this role play, she upholds a very good ethical communication, honesty, and accountability. In this role play, she also shows some responsibility to ensure that all information is accurate and being verified before being submitted to the clients. And other than that, she also speaks up against the unethical practices and demonstrates moral courage to protect the company's credibility and reputations. Last but not least, NURNADHIRAH binti Syed HANIFFA plays the role of a supportive team member and as a mediator. So in her character, she helps to reduce so much conflict, and she also encourages every members to give open communication, and she also promotes trust within the team members. And then she also emphasizes the importance of having an ethical communication in maintaining a strong relationships with the clients and within the organization. In conclusion, each character represents a different perspective commonly found in workplace situations. Throughout this roleplay, we demonstrate how ethical communication, teamwork, and responsible leadership help to resolve conflicts and lead to better professional decisions. I think that is all from me. I will pass the slides and presentation to the next presenter.
Now, I will talk about the main issues or ethical dilemmas that present in the roleplay. Firstly, submission of unverified information. The issues identified is where the proposal should be submitted with unverified and unchecked data to meet a deadline. This can be seen in the roleplay where Miss ADIBAH suggests submitting the work without rechecking the data, assuming the client may not notice minor issues. This presents as an ethical dilemma because providing unverified information can mislead the client and violate principles of honesty, transparency, and accuracy in communication. Ethical communication requires that information shared with stakeholders is truthful and reliable, especially when it may influence decision making. Submitting inaccurate data risks damaging the company's credibility and the client's trust. Secondly, the deadline pressure versus integrity. The issues identified is making a decision between deadlines and ethics. In the roleplay, we can see that the team faces time pressure as the deadline approaches, creating tension between speed and quality. Ms. Adiba prioritizes punctuality, while Ms. Iman emphasizes ethical responsibility. This dilemma highlights a common workplace issue where external pressure may tempt individuals to compromise ethical standards. Ethical decision-making requires prioritizing integrity over convenience, even when deadlines are tight. Thirdly, the misrepresentation and professional responsibility. The issue identified is risk of misrepresentation to the client. In the roleplay, we can see that by submitting work that has not been verified, the team could unintentionally misrepresent their findings. This is ethically problematic because professionals have a duty of care to ensure their outputs do not mislead clients. As Ms. Iman explains, inaccurate data could negatively affect the client's business decisions, making the team ethically accountable for any consequences. Next, fear of negative client perception. The issue identified is where fearing that seeking an extension will damage the reputation of the company. In the roleplay, we can see that Ms. Adiba's hesitation reflects a dilemma between honest communication and fear of appearing unprofessional. However, the discussion clarifies that ethical communication involves being open and transparent. Informing the client honestly about the need for verification demonstrates responsibility and respect, which can actually strengthen trust rather than weaken it. Last but not least is ethical leadership and team decision making. The issue that we can identify is where the way leaders manage ethical conflicts in a team. In the roleplay, Ms. RASYIQAH plays a key ethical leadership role by encouraging open discussion, acknowledging different perspectives, and guiding the team toward an integrity-based decision. Ethical leadership is demonstrated by creating a safe space for dialogue, managing conflict respectfully, and ensuring decisions align with ethical principles rather than personal convenience or pressure.
Here are the solutions to the issues. The first solution is commitment to data verification. In the role play, the project manager RASYIQAH ensures that only accurate and verified data are allowed in the work in order to uphold transparency and professionalism. The team collectively agreed to delay submission until all information was validated. Next, the solution is managing client perception through proactive communication. The marketing executive ADIBAH voiced her concern towards the client's perception if they submitted the data late. The project manager, however, reassured the team that clear and respectful communication can strengthen the client's trust. The team crafted an email to explain the communication to quality work towards the client. Third is prioritizing integrity over deadline pressure. The project manager and team mediator Nadira wrote an email to the client to request a brief extension. The team chose integrity over convenience and decided it was better to deliver late but accurate work. Fourth is upholding transparency over deadline pressure. The quality assurance officer explained the ethical risk of providing unverified data could affect the client's perception of the company. Then, all team members agreed to avoid misleading the client by taking responsibility for accuracy. Lastly, by fostering ethical leadership and collaborative decision making. The project manager facilitated a respectful discussion by allowing everyone to share their honest opinion. The team concluded that ethical decisions strengthen long-term relationship and credibility.
To conclude our presentation,
presentation today, here are the key takeaways from our roleplay. First, ethical decision may not always be the easiest choice, especially when under pressure. However, making the right ethical decision helps protect long-term credibility and trust. Second, integrity should always come before convenience. Even when taking shortcuts seems easier, maintaining honesty and strong value is more important in the long run. Lastly, teamwork and open communication plays a crucial role in resolving conflicts effectively. When team members communicate clearly and support each other, problems can be addressed more efficiently and professionally. Overall, this lesson highlights the importance of ethics, integrity, and collaboration in both academic and real-world situations. Throughout this project, we also faced several challenges. One of the main challenges was time coordination among team members, as we were in different locations and had different schedules. This required flexibility and proper planning from everyone. Another challenge was selecting a suitable topic and script. We needed to ensure that the topic was appropriate despite being in different locations. Everyone could act together effectively through online platform. We also faced challenges related to dialogue flow and timing. It was important to avoid interruption, long pauses, and overlapping speeches to ensure the presentation flowed smoothly. Finally, because we picked a topic of an online meeting, we decided it should be done in one take to show the authenticity. This was a challenge. Acting together in one take required strong coordination. Each one of us had to focus on maintaining natural interaction, staying in character, and using appropriate tone and body language for it to go smoothly. Despite these challenges, they helped us improve our teamwork, communication, and overall performance. That's all from us. Thank you.